Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and good afternoon. I want to say welcome to the fifth pre-season test already. This is basically the first or second test we are really broadcasting, mainly because we need to test some things with the broadcast. So that's why we are today live once again. But I want to say again, welcome and nice that you're watching. My name is Felix van Delft and I'm today joined by somebody else, Cameron Rodger. Welcome.
Yes, hello. My commentary debut. Just here to have a look at these guys in the wet. Interesting combination because it's Bahrain in the wet, which is pretty impossible because it's a desert, but it should be good nevertheless.
Yeah, indeed. Let's take a look at one of the first things that we are going to change for the stream today. We are going to have some nice graphics. So let's take a look at the track information. So indeed, it is running at the Bahrain Grand Prix. And it's a nice circuit. I've always liked the Bahrain circuit. It's a difficult track, but it's also like a power track. So it's got some nice things in it. But location Shakir Bahrain, track length 5.4 kilometers. It's 57 laps the race, so quite a long race, especially in the wet. It's going to be difficult for drivers. Let's take a look. The weather forecast, basically rain. At the moment in qualifying there's a wet track. They are already like 8 minutes into qualifying. We're a bit late, but doesn't really matter. It's gonna be raining in the race as well, I believe. So we're in for something special here. Rain in Bahrain.
It looks like it's going to dry out because some drivers are already on the intermediate tyres and there's a bit of a dry line forming. So we might see dry tyres sort of towards the mid part of the race at this stage.
Yeah, that's good to see. Let's take a look at the drivers, how they are doing in qualifying. So here we are back to the live screen. Of course, we're back. It's almost entirely the same graphics for the live view. Only we now have the driver helmets updated. So all a little bit different. Some things are in a little bit of a different position, but mainly it is the same overlay.
Just with some nice updates.
Exactly.
Or evolutions.
Exactly. So at the moment I'm looking at Mohammed Patel. First sector is a 31.4 for him. That's a reasonably good first sector for wet, I would say. Here we go, coming through the second sector timer. Also reasonably okay second sector. That was a 42.9. One of the better second sectors that has been set. So third sector is now going to be everything a little bit bumpy there, coming up to the last corner. Now coming out of it, a little bit on the curb. Curbs are slippery and really dangerous here in Bahrain, and he goes into the pit lane, abandons his lap. Probably thought he made a mistake in the last sector or something. So that is lap done for him. Eros Mashouli is also parked in the gravel, so don't know what happened to him. Same is for Jean-Pierre Halpa. He is into the pit lane as well. So let's take a look at Michele D'Alessandro. He's just starting his outlap, I believe. So then I'm gonna take a look at Stefanko. He is on a flying lap. Purple first sector, 31.8 for 086. So good start for Mr. Stefanko here in the first sector. But of course, second sector is fairly long. It's easy to make a mistake, easy to lose a lot of time in the second sector, especially here in the wet.
Yeah, this is going to be very interesting for the drivers on the intermediates because offline the water's still going to be really heavy. So if you just get outside of that dry line, you're going to be off, which is what happened to Eros, I think. I just caught it as he went wide. I think he just got on the curb. There's a bit more wetness and it slid off the track.
At the moment, Stefanko looking to get closer to the time of Eros Mashouli. 2 purple sectors at the moment. Last sector now coming up. Let's see what he can do in this last sector. Of course, the track is drying up, so Here we go, 137.161 for Stefanko, almost half a second quicker than Edos Mashuli. So good laps from Martin there. Still has 2 tries, so he still can do something else. Go even quicker, of course. As I said, the track is drying up. Moment looking at Harris Parves, also in for a good lap. Here we go, 37.386, puts himself into second position at the moment. Let's see, why don't I see everybody? Oh, okay.
Yeah, the lap times are starting to come down towards dry weather times, so it's definitely drying out quite quickly. And oh yes, Jean-Pierre Halep is actually on the option tyres right now. He's the first driver I've seen to do that,
Right,
and
so
from what I can see, he's the only one.
let's take a look with him, how he does with those dry tires. Looks really happy in his cockpit. But let's go on board with him. Starting his lap now. Some traffic in front of him, braking at about 110 meters, turning it in nicely, keeping it on the dry stuff. A little bit of a lift through turn 2, of course. It is a trick corner there, especially in the wet. Now coming to turn 4, braking right at the 100 meter mark, turning it in nicely onto the power again. Up through the gears, coming to the chicane. Keeps it nice and comfortable through here. He's a bit slower than himself though, almost 7/10 of his own personal best in sector 1, so it's going to be difficult for him to
I think
improve.
this is his first flying lap, so he's just going to be getting a sighter, because I think he actually did a pit stop rather than returning to the garage. He actually came in, whacked on a new set of tyres and continued, so he probably has a couple of laps of fuel as well.
Okay. Just as we were talking about that, Mohammed Patel went quickest to first position with a 36.9. Great lap from him, and I see Stefanko and Parves are also back out on the circuit with option tires. So dry tires are coming in for these guys.
Michele D'Alessandro has just set purple first sector, and he is actually on the intermediate tyres still. So that is that is interesting. Maybe the crossover point is just coming, but for now the inters are just a bit better.
Yeah. Let's turn this volume from the game up a little bit. These cars' engine sounds are a little bit less loud than the Winter Series cars.
Well, he's being held up massively by Chris Cobb, who is also on a lap, so it's no blue flags.
Alright, so let's take a look at Martin Stefanko now. He's starting his flying lap, his first one, on the dry tires. Of course, the 2017 season is using the basically 2009 spec cars, so we've got some very nice combinations. It's also different models, so not everybody is using the exact same model, and that's nice to see. I think a little bit of variation. That looks nice and tidy at the moment for Martin Stefanko. Good first sector, and second sector already looks pretty quick. Let's see what he can do coming into the hairpin. There's a Twister guy or a Musto guy right in front of him. Probably Patel.
Yeah. Yes, Patel, he's getting out of the way nicely.
Yeah.
Not
Nice.
giving him any slipstream.
Now, of course, turning it in nicely for the left-hander. Little bit of oversteer on the exit there. Let's see what he can do here in the second sector. A 1.4 seconds improvement. Oh, leg spike there for me. But he is on for a really quick lap.
Yeah, he's purpled that middle sector.
Yeah, purple by a long shot as well, like a second. So last sector is gonna be it. There was a Parvez parked in the wall there at the end of the last corner, and here we go, 135.2, almost 2 seconds improvement from Martin Stefanko. So really starting to show that it is drying up indeed. So now it is all to go for Mohammed Patel and George Winter, who is snuck up to third position. George Winter, and good stuff from him.
Yeah, basically everyone's on the option tyres now, apart from Dmitry Zaharov, who's actually on the primes, which is interesting. Maybe he's going for a few laps in a row.
Yeah, could be. Maybe he hasn't been used to the wet weather as much as some of these other guys, so that could explain something. But at the moment, Patel is doing good in the first sector. A little bit slower than what Stefanko did, but if you can gain back that time in the second sector, then that is okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of people on green sectors now.
Yeah, of course. All on the dry tires, at least almost all on the dry tires.
Yeah, pretty much everyone has 1 lap to go as well. They've all got one more shot on the dry tyres.
Yep. So, let's see. Mohammed Patel not really improving in the second sector. He is almost 5/10 slower in the second sector compared to Martin Stefanko. So his last sector is gonna need to be a lot quicker, but I don't think he's gonna be able to do that. Let's see what he does. 136.0, so that is still 8/10 slower than Martin Stefanko. Really, there's quite some time to gain here still for these guys.
D'Alessandro has just gone purple again, first sector.
Alright, so let's take a look with D'Alessandro then.
And he's a good 6/10 quicker than everyone else apart from Eros in that first sector at the moment.
Ooh, a little bit
runs
too
a bit
much
wide.
understeer, and then
He's
you go
onto the
onto the wet line, then you spin around indeed. So that's unfortunate for D'Alessandro. I think it was his last try,
No,
wasn't it? No,
he's got 3 laps left, but
Yep.
he's not gonna. If he goes to the pit, he won't get around, so he's gonna have to slow down. Hopefully, he's got enough fuel and regroup for 1 more lap on the same set of tyres.
Yep. So he's just getting out of the way for his teammate there. Really flying past. Moment Patel still on a lap, but again not really quick enough to try and beat Stefanko, I believe. He's in the last sector now. See him there coming out of the corner, and
Patel
there we
has
go.
just gone top.
Yeah.
Yes, purple last
34.8.
sector.
Good last sector for Mohammed Patel there. Iris Mashouli also improved. Jim Paris is just also improved to 135.9. So lap times now pouring in. There's half a minute remaining in this qualifying session. So it's all gonna be these last laps now that count. Who's gonna be the last guy with the best possible track conditions to cross that finish line?
Mashouli, purple first sector.
At least Martin Stefanko is not gonna be able to try and challenge the guys, because he has already done 11 laps and is in the pit lane at the moment, so that is qualifying over for him.
Yeah, the track's going to be at its driest right now, so these drivers are going to have an advantage as long as they can nail their lap.
Yep, exactly.
Going to be important for them to keep it on that dry line, because the outside is very
D'Alessandro
dark.
made a mistake again out of the hairpin, and he was on the wet bit and again made that mistake. Now I am on board with Adels Mashouli. He is going to be the one to watch. Purple first sector, good second sector, not the best though. Last sector is gonna be really crucial here. Coming to the line now, what is it going to be for Eros Mashouli? It's gonna be a 1:35.2, not enough to beat Mohammed Patel. So, second position for him at the moment. Now only Jim Paresis and Michael Ayers and Lucas Schmidt on the lap. Paresis not able to improve.
Michael's gone purple in the second sector. He's come up to the final corner. He's done a pretty good first sector as well.
Yep, all gonna be about this last sector now for Mr. Eisenegers. Here we go, coming to the line. And it is indeed a 1:34.667.
He is happy with that.
Nice lap time from Michael Ayers. And yeah, congrats to him.
The last person is Blair Disley, who improves to 13th with a 1:37.9.
Yeah, Ayers also still on a lap, I believe, is he? Yeah, just came through the first sector. Oh, but he's really slowing down.
Yes, he's backed off. Yeah, he's 10 seconds slow in the first sector.
Right, so it's qualifying done. Really surprising to see Michael there up the top.
Well, yeah, it was basically the last driver on the track. The track was at its driest, and he made full use of that.
Yep, indeed. So
very good.
Making use of that last minute opportunity to try and set that best lap time, and he did so very nicely, and puts himself on pole position. Eros Mashuli, he can be happy with himself to put himself in front of Martin Stefanko and Jim Paresis and his teammate, of course, Michele D'Alessandro. But I think he still would have liked to grab that pole position.
Yeah, it might be a pre-season race, but these drivers are definitely going to be taking it quite seriously.
Yeah, I
in
think,
terms of trying to beat people they're going to be racing with this season.
Yep, indeed, they definitely are going to try that. So let's take wait a second. So yeah, I think we are going to just head off for a minute or 5, maybe a little bit more, and then we will be back with you to start the race. Of course, these drivers are now going to do a little bit of a warm-up session, but there's not much for us to show you in that session just yet. But yeah, as I said, we will be right back with you in about 5 minutes time. So until then, keep your coffee by hand, because it's gonna be an exciting race. Right. Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the pre-season test number 5. It's number 6, I believe, so why does it say number 5? Anyway, welcome back. We are getting ready to start this race. And something else we've got new here this year is live animations. You already saw the track info one. Now let's take a look at the starting grid. Cameron, would you like to take us through the first 10 positions?
Of course. So on pole we have Michael Ayres. Bit surprising, but he got that lap in at the end. And then next we have Mohammed Patel showing his WC pace. Then we have Eros Mashuli and Martin Stefanko, also WC, so not surprising to see them up there. Then we have Jim Paresis and Michele D'Alessandro, followed by George Winter and Lucas Schmidt, and then Dmitry Zakharov and Paris Parvez rounding out the top 10. The next 10 positions are George Manasakis and Eugene van Loggeberg, followed by Blair Disley and Lars Brugman. In 15th we have Ivan Livanov, and 16th is Jean-Pierre Helpap. 17th is James Sadler, followed by Jujil Riaz, Stoyan Barbukov and Peter Schulz. And 21st is Christopher Cobb.
Right, yeah. You guys now see a lot of default drivers. At the moment we've only got this setup for the World Championship drivers. So of course this is just a test. So don't be bothered by that too much. It's just for us to test out if this is working correctly and all that stuff. So I believe these guys are now getting ready to do some test starts, or do one test start and then get ready for the real race. Just testing some stuff out for the pit boxes and those kind of things. So I think we can just talk a little bit about strategies. I mean,
we don't know yet.
We don't really know. I mean, I believe at the moment it is expected to stay dry, or is it going to rain again? I really don't know actually. But yeah, of course, if it stays dry, I think we're gonna see 2, maybe 3 stops. Probably a lot of prime running.
It does depend on the rain though. The rain may come back during the race, so they might have to do extra pit stops from that. Which will mean they'll have to choose very wisely when to pit, because the crossover points obviously aren't really known yet, which is one reason why we're doing the test races.
Yeah, exactly. That's of course one thing. Right there we've got the intention grid guy. Always fun to have him around, but yeah, these guys are gonna do a test start, so that's all well and sound. Let's take a look at them now. Let's go back to the live, and
the right hand side of the grid is pretty wet, so the left hand side is, well, the advantage is going to be quite big that they're going to have here.
Yep, I think the left-hand guys are going to be in a good advantage. Let's see who is on the right-hand side. That is Mr. Patel. So he's going to be struggling, and they all are doing some practice, getting off the line, trying to see if there's any grip. I think it's not too bad on the right hand side, but I'm pretty sure the left hand side is gonna have the better start. I see one guy still on the wet tire. I believe that is Blair Disley.
I see a lot of people on the Inters, but I think it's just the graphic.
Alright, so these guys starting their practice start now. 5 lights and away they go. There we go, getting off the line nicely there. Already some cars flying into each other. Gotta love these practice starts.
Yeah, there's 5 or 6 cars without front wings at the back.
Yep.
I'm sure they'll take it a bit more carefully in the real start.
Again, some guy spinning around. Right, so interesting sights here for a practice start.
Yeah, most of them are still just finding the grip, and from looking at the live timing, I think most of them are on the options.
Yeah, I almost see everybody on the option tires, which is
Apart
probably...
from Dimitri, he's on the primes, and Florian is also on the primes.
Yep, but yeah. Of course, as I said, this is just a practice start.
They're going into the pits, aren't they?
Yeah, they're going into the pit lane, so...
Yeah.
Dimitri Zhao was on for a good practice start, but he made the mistake and now got back to 5th position again, and more cars flying off in the distance in the in the background.
Yeah, Michael's got a 1.5 second lead to Eros, and I'm sure he would hope for that in the real start. People are going to come in very hot because the pit entry is still wet, as it wasn't really used in qualifying.
Yep, here we go. Everybody's sliding around.
Harris missed his pit box by quite some way, I think.
That's too bad for him. A lot of guys in the pit here, pretty crowded.
Yeah, hopefully this doesn't happen in a real race, all 20 coming in at once.
No, I don't think we're gonna see that happening. Some guys without rear wings. Right. So, I think this practice start is basically done. Not much more to find either, I think. Apart from that, it is wet on the right side of the grid. And I think most of these guys are already know that by now.
Yeah, the turn 1 is going to be unbelievably difficult with these option tyres, because those people on the right-hand side aren't... They're going to get bad starts, but then they're not even going to be able to get over to the left-hand side. Braking on wet tarmac with dry tyres. Oh god, I'm not looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what these guys can do. I really don't know what to expect, but yeah, they are restarting the session now, so we are getting ready to start this race. Of course, as I said before, 57 laps here on the Bahrain circuit, and well, weather forecast pretty much unknown at the moment. Right, so let's get back to the grid, see who is lining up there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who starts on the prime tyres, because they'll get an even worse start with this slightly damp tarmac.
So Patel testing out how hard the wall is. I think he found out that the wall is pretty hard.
Oh yeah, watch his practice start. It wasn't too bad actually, but it was quite low revs. I'm sure Michael on pole is gonna love this. No one ahead of him. Dry side, I think.
Yeah, Michael's indeed on the dry side.
Yep.
Paul is on the dry side, so gonna be having quite a good advantage compared to the other guys, at least on the right of him. Gonna watch out for Mashuli though. Mashuli is definitely not the least of drivers right behind him.
Yeah, it looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people on prime tyres.
So they are rolling off for their formation lap now. Still, I see Blair Disley with a wet set of tires, and a couple of guys further down the rear with some prime tires. But for the rest, everybody seems to be on the option tires.
Yeah, we're not really too sure how how long these options are going to last, because with the bit more sliding they're going to have, the damp tarmac, they're probably going to wear the tyres out a little bit more than if it was completely dry. So not really too sure when to expect pit stops, but if it carries on like this, it's definitely going to be, well, lap 10 onwards.
Yeah, I think that is quite fair to say. Lap 10 onwards, maybe a little bit further, lap 15. Of course, it depends as well on the fuel load, because it's refueling with these kind of cars. So some guys may be taking on 90 liters even here on the start of the race and going for maybe 20-25 laps. But some guys may go for a short stint of maybe 50 liters or something and go about 10-12 laps. So it's really something that's unknown to us. We can't see the fuel loads of these guys. We can't see what they have in their tanks. So it's really a guessing game for us at the moment. We're gonna see further down the race when the first pit stops are going to happen. Michael is now starting to pull a little bit of a gap to Mohammed Patel right behind him. But
yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Michael sort of copes this, because he's new to FSR this year and he has had a couple of good outings in the Winter Series, but you know, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 WC drivers right behind him. It must be a bit of a daunting task when you're so new to FSR.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's fair to say.
Especially in these conditions.
It's coming to his grid slot.
Yeah, the grid was quite compressed.
Yeah, indeed. Patel taking the aggressive starting position, it seems.
Yeah, he wants to get over to that left side. Oh, he has to reverse back there. Yeah, he wants to get over to that left side as soon as possible.
Yeah, I think I don't give him any doubts about that. I mean, that's what I would do as well. But I think it is ready to get going. Here we go. 3, 4, 5 lights, and we are racing here for the pre-season test. The guys are all away nicely, and it seems to be a good start for Michael and a really bad start as expected for Mohammed Patel and all the guys on the right hand side grid. But Eros Mashuli already in front of Michael now with a really great start. Got him past him before the first corner already, so Eros Mashuli already streaming away into the distance.
Oh yeah, there was a couple of small wheel banging incidents in the back, but nothing major apart from James Sadler has turned around. Doesn't look like he's got damage, but he's quite a few seconds behind.
Yes, indeed. Seems that Jim Paris is right behind Mohammed Patel, is starting to pressure them, and also a couple of other guys really close to each other. Michele D'Alessandro right behind Georg Winter. So it is time for this race to get started. Of course, with the dry line, it's really tricky when you get off that dry line. You really start to lose grip really quickly. We saw that in qualifying with Michele D'Alessandro making a mistake and then completely losing any grip of the tires. And we see there almost George Manusakis spinning around. But at the moment, it seems all well for the start.
Yeah, I actually saw Harris Parves with a smoking engine for the first sector, so he's probably running slightly low radiators. Even though it's raining, it's still quite warm.
Oh, Georg Winter has made a mistake. He's off the track. Don't know exactly what happened there. I do know that he's losing positions.
Yeah, defending in these conditions is actually by not defending, because it's really difficult to outbrake someone on this wet tarmac. So we're going to see some really special overtakes when we see them today.
Yep. So first lap is done and Eros is already ahead by almost 1.5 seconds, pulling away from Michael quite a bit.
Yeah, that's going to be a task for Michael. And the thing is, behind Michael is Dimitri, who's on the prime tyre. So Michael and Eros have a good opportunity here to really pull a lead from Patel, who dropped behind Zakharov in that first lap.
Yep.
Might cause a bit of a train behind him with those prime tyres, and I'm sure he's also quite heavy on fuel as he's got those prime tyres.
Makes a mistake onto the wet line. You saw that spray coming off his tires. Zakharov also is on the prime tires, it seems, so he's gonna have a difficult time compared to Mohammed Patel. Patel now starting to put some pressure on Zakharov, going onto the wet part of the circuit. Is he gonna be able to do anything? A little bit of contact almost there between Zakharov and Patel. Patel starting to really put some pressure on Dimitri now. Let's see what he can do coming into turn 1. He is alongside on the outside, really close to each other, outbreaks him, but the inside line is for Zakharov, and Jim Paris is also now almost does a great overtake around the outside of Mohammed Patel, but the wet part there really disadvantaged Mr. Paris. So he had to back out of that move. Would have been a great move if the could have made it stick.
Hello everybody.
Oh, hello there, Mr. Raby.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Not too bad, thank you. How is everybody watching the stream? You know, is everybody good? Everybody had a good winter?
I think so, yeah. At least I did.
It's been long.
It has indeed.
4 months. 3 months.
Let's see.
I just saw Eros make a bit of a mistake in Sector 2. Going through the S's. It has allowed Michael Eros to catch up.
Yeah, gap is down to...
He's pushing Eros, so he's probably got quite low fuel, and he's trying to build a gap and just push and make a gap while cars behind are a bit stuck.
Yep. Alessandro is also closing. Yeah.
Priestess has lost a lot of time.
Yeah. Alessandro putting pressure on him, and again you see Patel starting to pressure Zakharov right in front of him. Let's see D'Alessandro now on Jim Paris's. Has got really good top speed here, Michele D'Alessandro. Swimming past on the wet. Is he gonna be in front at the braking zone? Yes, he is. So Michele D'Alessandro, good move into turn 1. Patel not able to get past Dimitri Zakharov just yet.
He's gonna try it around the outside here.
Here we go. Patel around the outside of Zakharov. Zakharov locking up a little bit. The cutback for Mr. Patel. Is it gonna be enough now coming into the S's? The inside line is gonna be for Patel. Backs out of it. Zakharov really defending really aggressively here in lap 4 of the race.
Yeah, one thing I noticed was Patel was quite far behind, so he got full slipstream, and he was hitting the rev limiter at 313 kilometers. So if he's hitting the rev limiter, he's going to really struggle getting past Zakharov.
He's really close now on this back straight. Where is he going to go on the outside? Smart choice. Is it? Oh, Zakharov outbreaks himself, and here we go. Mohammed Patel into P3. Zakharov with the mistake now spun around as well, so losing a lot of positions. And
he's down to 10th position in front of Florian Becker.
Yeah, really lost a lot of time. Let's see if I can get a quick replay of what happened to Mr. Zakharov.
He's dropped behind Becker now as well.
So here we go. Coming out of the last corner. Let's see. On board. Brakes a little bit on the wet side, then comes onto the wet part of the track. Over the anti-cut he goes, over the curb, then too soon onto the power. And indeed, that is losing a lot of positions for Mr. Zakharov.
Yeah, while you're showing that, D'Alessandro got past Patel into turn 1. It looks like D'Alessandro's got a lot higher top speed, and Patel maybe with a lot more downforce and quite slow on that pit straight.
Ah, okay. That's interesting to see.
It, the top 10 is actually quite close. We have 6 seconds covering 3rd to 10th. They're in a bit of a train. It'd be nice to see people doing moves in this. But Eros and Michael have pulled away from D'Alessandro after being held up by Zaharov.
Yep, indeed.
No.
Let's take a
Got 4 seconds.
look a little bit further back. Martin Stefanko is also right behind Lars Brugman now. Lars, of course, newcomer to the World Championship Series here on FSR, driving for VB Madcape, or no, it's Vodpool Racing, sorry. Those two teams are, of course, sister teams, but of course, always good to see some new drivers here in FSR. Here we go, Martin Stefanko on the back straight. Really good top speed from the ACR driver. Is he going to be able to make it stick coming into turn 1? Outbreaks Mr. Brugman, and here we go. Good move there from Martin Stefanko, and puts himself up to 7th position. However, Brugman is still right behind him. Don't think he's gonna be giving up on Stefanko just yet.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll see these two racing hard this season in the World Championship, so they're definitely not going to give up now, trying to show who's boss, getting to know each other.
Yeah, Patel also still trying to hold on to the rear of Michele D'Alessandro. But let's see what Brugman can do here on the back straight. Not much there from Lars Brugman. Seems that he doesn't really have the top speed to try and attack Mr. Stefanko. Stefanko there, almost spinning there on the exit of the curb. I see the gap between Michael and Mashuli has dropped back once again to less than a second. Let's see what happened to Eros there just a second ago.
Schmidt DNF.
So let's see, Eros was coming to the second to last corner. Did he make the mistake on the exit? Oh, on the exit curb indeed. Then the anti-cut flew into the air. Luckily he kept his car in a straight line, but wow, he's putting some action here from the front of the pack.
Yeah, I'm sure he's pushing quite hard.
Yeah, Lucas Schmidt indeed, DNF. What happened to Schmidt? See him spun around. Let's take a look at that replay real quick. So here he was right behind Peter Schultz. You see him having a little bit of oversteer already. Then he goes onto the wet pit and spins around. And it goes into the wall. No, he keeps it out of the wall, but I think he decides to quit and park his car in the pit lane.
Yeah, Blair Disley still out on the wet tyre.
On the wets?
Yeah, still out on the
wets.
wet.
Oh yes, he is.
Yeah, this he started on the wets, but he's quite a bit down, I believe.
He's hoping for a miracle right now.
Right, let's take a look at James Sadler. He is right behind Stoyan Barbukov. Or is that Barbukov? Yes, it is. Right behind Stoyan Barbukov. So Sadler trying to put some pressure on him. Not going into the last corner. On the wet part, you really cannot outbrake him. Let's see what he can do coming on the straight. Good top speed, it seems. Ooh, Barbukov. Maybe moving a little bit on James Sadler there. Luckily no big contact there, but James Sadler really had to avoid him there. Now coming into turn 1, seems that James Sadler outbraked him very nicely and takes that 14th position away from Stoyan Barbukov.
Yeah, it looks like Sadler's got a tiny bit of suspension damage. His wheel's slightly to the right. I think that might have been from that first corner, first lap incident.
That can indeed be.
Yeah, I don't think it was from the incident on the straight.
Right.
Harris Parvez is out now. Suspension. I think he already. I already looked. He already had suspension damage, so I think he's just parked it.
Right. Now let's take a look at Florian Becker. He's going through the field quite nicely. I believe he started from the back of the grid, basically.
Yes. Yes,
Already.
the last row.
Yep, already up to 9th position now. Starting to get closer to Lars Bergman.
He is on those prime tyres, so he is going to be going quite far into this race. He's probably hoping to do maybe a bit of an overcut when the option runners pit and go on to higher fuel.
Seems that Martin Stefanko is starting to put some pressure on George Manusakis. Saw him taking a little bit of a peak coming into turn 1. Couldn't make the move, apparently. Let's see what he can do here in this coming lap. Already 9 laps into this race. And we're starting to maybe get to some pit window. I don't expect people in this first coming 3 laps, but we're getting close now. Maybe some people deciding to make that undercut, or maybe some people deciding to do the overcut. Of course, you need to have enough fuel for the overcut, but let's see what he can do. Jim Paris' really slow exit out of the hairpin there, and George Manusakis already passed before the end of the back straight. Now Martin Stefanko right behind him, also probably trying to look for a place where he can get past him.
Michele D'Alessandro is very close to Michael Ayres now. There was a 4-second gap, I think 3 laps ago, so he's on a mission.
Yep. Patel right behind him as well.
Well, he might even have a go and... No, he's not going to dive the bomb. Yeah, it's getting very close between 2nd, 3rd and 4th now.
Yeah, now Stefanko, good top speed coming into turn 1. He is past Jim Paris'. Good move there from the Czech. Right, so Michael now side by side. Oh,
bit of
there's
collision
been
there.
contact. Contact between Patel and Michael Ayres. What has happened there? Let's see if I can get a replay of that little battle between the two guys. They're still going at it. I need to watch out. Florian Becker also joining in there. Let's take a look at the replay. So here we go, coming out of turn 2. Michael didn't really have a good exit. D'Alessandro did have a way better exit. So coming to turn 4, let's see what happened. Michele D'Alessandro outbraked himself massively. Then Patel tried to take that inside line. Let's scroll it back a little bit further and go on board with Patel. Here we go, Patel turning in for turn 4. Then Michael just with the oversteer and into the path of Patel. Really unfortunate to see that happening there.
Yeah, Michael obviously trying to go on the throttle a bit too early, spun the wheels and collected Patel in the incident as well. A bit unfortunate for all of them.
Yep. So all of them now, except D'Alessandro, dropped back to 6th, 7th position.
Yeah, they're just helping Eros, aren't they?
Yeah.
He's got a big 7-second lead, as you say.
Here we go, Patel again trying it into turn 1. Wheel banging a little bit. Michael now needs to leave the space also for the guy right behind him, Lars Brugman. Here we go, Lars now taking a look. Michael squeezing him onto the wet part of the circuit. A bit of dirty driving there from Mr. Ayres. It's allowed, but maybe not the cleanest way of racing. So again, a little bit of oversteer there from Michael on the exit of the first hairpin. Now coming through the second one. Has he got enough top speed to try and keep Lars behind him? I think so. Lars really didn't have a good exit out of that hairpin. So let's take a look at Martin Stefanko. I think he is closing into George Manusakis now.
Now, lots of these drivers are just at the very edge of slipstream. So if the driver in front makes a mistake, then they'll be right in the slipstream. Because you actually get slipstream quite far back on this car. Only very slightly, but just that little boost can always help close into another driver.
Yeah, of course we don't have DRS or boost of any kind with these kind of cars. So it really depends on having that slipstream, having that better exit than the guy in front of you. So that really makes the racing a little bit more interesting than, for example, last year where we had the boost and the DRS, where you could basically fly past someone with 30 or 40 kilometers an hour more than the guy in front. I'm at the moment taking a little bit of a look at George Winter. He's also right behind Bergman, and right behind him it is Florian Becker, also trying to get maybe some positions back. Moment though, it's Martin Stefanko that is really close to the back of George Manusakis.
George Manusakis qualified in 11th, so you could argue slightly out of position, so you would expect Stefanko to be slightly quicker, which would help him catch up, and he's definitely in the slipstream this lap. And so is Paris's behind, so we might see a nice battle here on this next lap. ACLs look like they have good top speed as well.
So not enough yet for Stefanko to make a move into turn 1. Maybe the back straight this lap. But it seems that Manusakis has got a good exit out of turn 2 and 3.
Oh, it's a bit of an instant behind. Who was that? That was George Winter and someone else. Missed who that was. Oh, and Winter's spun it
Indeed,
somewhere.
spun
Let's have a
around.
look.
I think it was Becker. Becker and Winter were
yes.
battling for position. Let's take a look on that replay. Here we go. So Winter in front. Oh no,
Yeah,
it's Bergman
in front. Yeah.
And then Winter spun on the wet part of the circuit offline into the way of Florian Becker. That's really unfortunate. Not much Becker could have done about that.
Yeah, Becker's got some front wing damage and Winter has retired.
Yes. That's race over for Mr. Winter. Let's take a look at Stefanko now. Again, close to Manusakis on the end of the straight. But does he have enough slipstream and does he have enough top speed to make that move on him coming into turn 1?
He certainly has the top speed, but he just needs to be a lot closer. He seems to get very close, and out of that final corner, Manusakis seems to get a little bit ahead.
Yep.
I was just about to say the leaders come down at the front. It was over 7 seconds. It was now 6.3, but D'Alessandro has just made a mistake going through the S's and definitely lost some time there.
Yeah.
Too much over the curbs.
Stefanko also made a mistake coming into the hairpin onto the curb a little bit too much. Now losing time to Manusakis in front.
Yeah, the curbs really unsettle this car.
Yeah, definitely. The curbs here in Bahrain are something you want to keep away from, at least most of them. I think Peter Schultz has been the first guy to make a pit stop here in lap 14. Went to the prime tires. But that's interesting to see. probably will be going for maybe 20, maybe more laps on those prime tires.
Yeah, so we're what, lap 15 now, so they're definitely going to be starting to think about pit stops in the next few laps.
Yeah, definitely. Michael
Although
Ears is
it
indeed.
is fuel dependent.
Yeah, Michael Ears is in the pit lane at the moment.
Taking a fair amount of fuel, another set of option tyres.
Yep. Out of the pit lane he comes. Track now really drying up a lot. You can see that white line has widened a lot, and I think the times we are seeing now are pretty much close to the times we are gonna see if the track were to be fully dry at the start of a race.
Yeah, the darker patches are almost on the very edge of the track now, so yeah,
Yep.
these lap times are pretty reasonable.
Right, Patel now really close to the back of Jim Paresis. Let's see what Patel can do in this lap. Pretty close here, coming over the second to last straight. Or well, basically the straight before the main straight. Ooh, makes a mistake. Again on the power on the exit of the last corner. Almost loses the car. Luckily he can keep it pointing in the right direction, but really on the edge there.
Yeah, the exit is so important. He's just trying to get the perfect exit, a little bit too much, and that's him for the next couple of laps. Try to hunt him down again.
Yep, indeed.
Yeah, at the front, D'Alessandro just he's gone wide again. Oh no, so Eros has gone wide this time because D'Alessandro has just set the fastest lap of the race and 1 second quicker than Mashuli last time round.
Yeah, Mashkuli's just
he's
gone
still off the
massive
track.
Yeah.
He's still off the track. What's happened to Mashuli? He seems really slow.
Has he run out of fuel
No,
or
right?
something like that? Oh no, he's got an issue. Yeah, there's a bigger issue than that.
He's still got fuel. Let's see the replay. What happened there with Mashuli? So he was coming out of turn 4. Coming into the chicane. Touched the curb a little bit on the inside. And then just went straight on. Went straight on. And like there was... I don't know. Maybe his phone was ringing or the doorbell or something. It really needed his attention straight away, but definitely giving away the lead there to his teammate.
Yeah, I'm thinking he maybe might have had a screen freeze.
Yeah, or a screen freeze indeed. That could have been the issue as well. Patel is now, or no, Madusakis is into the pit lane. Let's see what tires he is coming to, or going to.
Oh, Patel went for a massive dive bomb there on Mashuli. But yeah, Mashuli's definitely got... He's definitely not 100% for some reason. Not sure what.
So Manusakis back to the option tires again. Maybe doing another shorter stint.
Jim Paresis has just gone off the track as well.
Maybe a little mistake from him. At least he hasn't lost that much time.
No, it was his teammate Jean-Pierre was letting him through, I think, and it put him off into the S section. Decided to cut the chicane rather than hit all those curbs.
Stoyan Barbukov off the track in turn 1. Nothing major there. Yeah, Martin Stefanko is struggling to get really a lot closer to the Alessandro. Last lap was quite a bit quicker, but Alessandro is at the moment improving his personal best time and starting to set a probably low 32 coming over the line now. Let's see what that lap time is. It's indeed a 32.044, so 2/10 quicker than Martin Stefanko, showing that Michele definitely isn't asleep at the moment.
Mashuli's in the pits. this would be interesting to see if there's some sort of damage or something. If there was a weird damage going over a curb, maybe. Be interesting to see if his pit stop's longer.
I don't think it's damage. I think it's either a screen freeze or something happening at his home or something that needed his attention straight away. He's going to the prime tires though.
Yeah, prime tires and quite a bit of fuel. He's stationary for quite a while. He's going for a nice long stint here. Coming out just behind Michael Ayres.
Yep.
Who's also made his pit stop. So with that incident, Michael has got past him, and he's on the fastest tyre.
Yeah, well.
It'll be interesting to see what happened. No, he's not getting past. Yeah,
Else
interesting to
is
see
really
if
close,
Michael can get keen, keep ahead.
Yeah, track is beginning to look very dry now. Looks pretty much
Yep, indeed.
pretty dry now, especially offline now.
Yeah, it is 27 degrees ambient temperature, despite the rain
Oh,
that we had,
Stefanko
so
in the
that
pits.
helps.
Stefanko indeed into the pit lane. One of the first front runners, except if you don't take Masuli into account, taking his first pit stop now, coming to the prime tires as well. Michael at the moment, the one that's out of sync compared to at least Stefanko and Masuli. Stefanko coming out right behind George Manousakis. Still in front of Michael and Eros. Eros still going quite slow. Gap between him and Michael already down to 2 seconds. Whilst Michael's last lap time wasn't that staggering. I mean 1:34.1. Not the pace we are seeing from Mohammed Patel and Jim Paresis in the front, 32s. Oh, here we go.
I think feels quite.
Sergio
who
Rios
is that?
getting in the way there a little bit from Eros Masuli. Luckily, no damage there for these drivers, but really not the best place to park your car.
Yeah, I think for Michael and Eros, it's a fuel thing because obviously they filled the tanks back up now. So this is quite an important phase for the front runners regarding to how far ahead of them they come out, because they're obviously doing like 2 seconds a lap quicker right now.
Yep,
doing the overcut.
Indeed. Let's see, Bergman is into the pit lane. Florian Becker staying out just yet. He of course started on those prime tires. Let's see, Bergman goes to the option tires. So interesting to see that he also stays out on those options. Or stays out on the does another stint on the option tires. So let's see what he can do. He comes out in front of Michael, only just. It's gonna be interesting.
Patel just went across turn 5 and 6 like Paresis did. That was a bit weird. I don't know if it's something on the track, maybe.
I don't know.
We'd see more than one driver do that.
But let's see what Michael can do to Bergman now. Bergman probably has a heavier car than Michael at the moment. But of course Michael has older tires. So let's see who of these two guys is gonna be quicker. Michael of course has the advantage of slipstream as well now. And Alessandro is into the pit lane. So where is he gonna come out and what is he gonna do? Jim Paresis and Patel also diving into the pit lane. If you could keep an eye out on that, Cameron or Chris. Right. Becker still staying out on his prime tires. Let's see Michael close to Lars on the exit of the final corner. Does he have the top speed though? D'Alessandro, Manusakis and Stefanko are still in front of these guys. And Michael doesn't have the top speed. Oh, and there's a mistake there from Lars Bergman. Outbraking himself coming into turn 1, losing the position now to Michael Ears. However, for how long is that going to be? Lars now already really close to him, coming up to turn 4, now coming through 5 and 6. Really close battling here between these two guys, flag to flag versus Voltpool Racing.
Yeah, sorry, my game crashed there. I couldn't see that pit stop.
Oh, lol.
It's going to be interesting how far Florian goes now that he's in the lead, because if he goes far enough, then he might be able to sort of offset with, oh, he's pitting this lap, as I say that.
Okay.
But he went the same distance as Michele did on the options, apart from one lap more.
Yep. So now giving the lead back to D'Alessandro. D'Alessandro pitted for the option tires, Manusakis as well, but Paresis went for the primes, and now Muhammad Patel is getting past. What is it? Jim Paresis? No.
Yes.
Yeah, Jim Paresis. Yes.
Yeah. Becker took the primes as well. So he's going for 2 primes and 1 option at the end, it seems, on a 2-stop.
Yeah. Let's see. Jim Paresis not giving up on Patel. Side by side coming through turn 4. Patel having the upper hand there and keeps that 4th position just for now. And Michael Ears is DNF. What happened to Michael? Let's watch that replay.
Looks like he ran out of fuel.
Let's see.
Ah,
Coming through the
yes.
second to last corner. Made a mistake on the curb there. Then back on the power. He was side by side with Lars Bergman. Still on the desert.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, it looked like he ran out of fuel, but he still had...
He could have rolled into the pit lane, maybe. But yeah, he just decides to park it. That's a bit of a weird one.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. Weird to see. Don't know what he was doing. Strange. Right, so George Manusakis is now really close to Michele Alessandro. Michele is on the option tires just as George Manusakis is, but apparently not as quick as George at the moment.
I think George is yet to pit as well.
I don't think so. I think he pit.
No.
Yeah, he pit.
Oh yeah, sorry.
They've all
laps
made
ago.
pit stops.
Yeah, sorry. I should pay more attention.
Yep.
Oh, James Sadler's DNF'd as well.
It's interesting to see that Blair Disley is still out on the wet tires. 'Cause he's about
He's hoping. He really is hoping for a miracle, isn't he?
he's about 8 seconds a lap slower, but he doesn't pit.
Just watching James Sadler, I don't think he ran out of fuel. It just looks like he parked it.
Okay.
Yeah, he just sort of pulls over, but I don't know. Yeah, it just I think he's just pulled over for whatever reason. That's a bit weird. Yeah, Eros Mashudi is now 18 seconds off the lead after that weird incident.
Mm-hmm.
Bit of a shame for him. He's on the prime tyres.
Yep.
It seems like Manusakis and D'Alessandro are the only people on the options apart from Brugman as well. So most people are going for the primes in this middle stint.
So we are now getting close to the halfway mark of this race. Of course, it's still quite unknown. We've now got some guys on different strategies. I believe Alessandro on the option tires, of course, and Patel and Stefanko on the prime tires. But it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out in the closing stages of this race. Who's going to pit earlier? Who's going to go to what tire? What fuel roads?
The tyres are going to be interesting because D'Alessandro is going to have to go to the primes, but obviously Stefanko and Patel and Precis, they can all go to the options and be a lot quicker at the end. So it's definitely going to be advantage to them at the end. So Michele's going to have to build a bit of a gap now while he's on the faster tyre.
Yep. He's going to have to. At least, the same with George Manusakis. At the moment they seem to be a little bit quicker than Patel, but not much.
Blair Disley is finally onto the prime tyres. After 24 laps, he's decided the wets are not the optimal tyre.
Oh, that's good to see.
Yeah, he's 2 laps down though, so he's not going to be winning this race.
Gorillas car there off the track. Oh, and poor Blair Disley. It has started to rain, ladies and gentlemen. It has started to rain again. So Blair Disley thought he made the wrong choice in staying out on the wet tires, but in the end, he was right anyway. So let's see.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting again because they've sort of learned the.
I think the worst person that's come out of this is Stoyan Bobukov. He just pitted. Literally comes out of the pit lane now. Poor guy.
They're gonna have to make the right call here because it might be worth staying out for a couple of laps because the track won't. Oh no, they're starting to slide.
Yeah, I think it's pretty
D'Alessandro's
heavy.
in.
It's pretty heavy rain. D'Alessandro in, George Manusakis coming in. Is there going to be anybody that stays out? Yes, there is. Mohammed Patel. Oh no, that's the Willis cars.
Stefanko
does, yeah. Patel does as well, and what does Jim Precis do? Stays out as well. So D'Alessandro and Manusakis taking the gamble in pitting right away. But are they going?
Manusakis drove through the pit lane.
Okay.
What? Yeah, he just drove straight through the pit lane. He decided not to take tyres. As if it was a drive-through penalty.
It stopped raining as well.
Maybe that's why. Maybe he noticed. So he decided not to pull into his pit box.
But D'Alessandro is now out on the circuit on wet tyres. And it has stopped raining.
Oh, that might be a bad decision for his race. Because, as I said, it might be better to stay out one lap. Wait for it to get a bit more wet. But now he's committed.
Yep. Oh, and it started to rain again, so the rain gods don't know what to decide at the moment. But maybe D'Alessandro did indeed make the right call to go to the wet tires. But let's see, is there gonna be anybody else that's pulling into the pit lane this time around? I don't know. It seems to be raining quite heavily. At least it's no small drizzle at the moment. Quite a lot of spray already coming off the prime tires or off the dry tires. Ooh. So let's see, is there...
Stefanko and Patel stay out.
Yep, they stay out for another lap. Precis does the same. How about Lars Brugman and Manusakis? Manusakis pulls into the pit lane this time. Let's see, what does Mashuli do? Stays out. Becker comes into the pit lane. What does Zarov do? He's not yet close to the pit lane entry, but seems that
Becker and Manusakis have both taken full wet tyres. They haven't chosen the inters, so the rain is coming down quite heavy.
Yep. So that's interesting to see. D'Alessandro in front of Manusakis and Becker. So in the end, maybe he has gotten this right. Let's see, his teammate right in front of him now on the dry tire still, and you see that he's struggling really hard with the track. So I think D'Alessandro made the right call to pit as soon as possible.
Zaharov took the intermediate tyre, so it'll be interesting to see his lap times compared to the people on the full wets. But yeah, the dry line's completely gone, so it definitely is time for inters, but is it going to dry up quickly?
I don't know.
Is it worth staying out?
There are, of course, still 15 cars out on track, so I don't know.
Oh, yeah, Stefanko and Patel at the front, they are sliding all over the place, barely any grip. Let's see what they do. They
stay out. Both of them stay out.
They are gambling. Yeah, they are gambling that it's going to dry up.
Let's see, they're side by side coming to turn 1. Both probably not having any sort of grip. Really going slow through these corners.
Yeah, Patel was full opposite lock. He was turning left into a right-hander. Not the best. Brugman pit, he's taken the intermediates.
Mashuli's
pitting.
Is he also to the inters, or is he going to the wets?
Let's have a look. Stopping now. Full wets.
Alright. I hear somebody crashing into a wall.
See who that is.
And Alessandro is off track. What happened to him? Nothing major, it seems. Let's see the sector times. D'Alessandro lost first sector 33.1. Mohamed Patel 34.0. Stefanko 34.9. So definitely almost a second per sector quicker at the moment. Michele D'Alessandro. Probably won't take long until he catches up to these guys, unless this drying line really comes back quickly. As you say, Stefanko and Patel really take a gamble in staying out here.
Yeah, this is the make or break point, because if it dries up, then it's Stefanko and Patel who have the advantage. But if it gets more wet, then it's D'Alessandro, because he's basically a pit stop ahead. He's only 8 seconds behind.
Yeah, he's 3
seconds. That was
seconds
the last sector.
Yeah, he's 3 seconds quicker in the second sector.
Let's have a look. Do they stay out? Yes, leaders stay out again. But there's spray coming off the cars now, so that is definitely a sign they should be on wet tyres. So I can't see any rain, can you?
No, at the moment it's dry again, but is it gonna be for the rest of the race?
Oh god, yeah. They're gonna have to hope it dries out.
You can see D'Alessandro right in the background there, that blue car closing in. Well, I'm gonna say closing in slowly, but it's not that slowly. I mean, last lap was 6 seconds quicker than Mohamed Patel. So really closing in quickly.
Yeah, D'Alessandro is going to be on them, possibly next lap.
And it's raining again. It started raining again. So it's gonna be now really, they have to make the decision now. Mohamed Patel, Martin Stefanko, the gap between them and D'Alessandro is now 4 seconds. There's been a ghost speed a little bit in the way apparently of Michele D'Alessandro. Gap down to 3 seconds now, and it's raining hard now. It's really monsoon at the moment here in Bahrain. You can see Stefanko and Patel in front of D'Alessandro. D'Alessandro is on the wet tires. These guys in front are on dry tires with almost, thunderstorm-like rain at the moment. They have to come into the pit lane now. Surely they do. I mean, they're sliding off here at the end of the last corner. Patel is off. Stefanko is off. Now they indeed go into the pit lane. And Michele D'Alessandro did make the right call in staying or not staying out, in taking those wet tires as soon as possible, and he is now benefiting from that and leading the race by probably 15 seconds at least.
Yeah. Patel missed his pit box. Stefanko, well, no, he just made it. But yeah, Jim Paresis did a half spin on that lap as well. He's on the primes. He's coming in.
Some guys still on the inters. Lars Brugman on the inters still. He seems to be okay on those inters. Pace is about the same as D'Alessandro. But it's really...
Yeah, Patel in the chat isn't happy with the rain. He obviously wanted it to dry up.
Yeah, definitely raining very hard at the moment. Ooh, Lars Brugman almost drifting through turn 6 there.
Yeah, it's definitely time for extreme wets.
Florian Becker and Mashuli really close racing at the moment. And it stopped raining again. And it started raining again. So it's really varying conditions here in Bahrain. It's all over the place.
Well, it's not used to wet weather, is it? It's a desert.
Yeah, it's kind of a desert. So probably the sand stuff is a bit sticky at the moment. Better stay off that. But yeah, let's see Eros Mashuli on Florian Becker coming down the back straight. Eros diving in that gap there. Is there room for Becker on the outside still? Yes, they're going side by side through the long right-hander. Eros Mashuli keeps it in front. Great move there from the Italian. Now on the curb, a little bit on the exit. Keeps it in a straight line though. How's the exit? Exit is not the best, so Becker maybe has a try here on the back straight. No, not at the moment. Maybe on the main straight with some slipstream. But indeed, very nice move from Eros Mashuli there. You can see these guys are also still struggling. The rain has stopped now again.
Yeah, Brugman stayed out on the inters, so he definitely thinks it's alright for them. Oh, Stefanko sliding all over the place, turn 3. Lost a bit of time there. Yeah, D'Alessandro's got a 16-second lead. So he has gained quite a lot from that.
Oh, Mashuli off the track there at turn 5 and 6.
Not for the first time today. Yeah, Patel's catching into Lars Brugman here. Patel's on the extreme wets, which is definitely the favourable tyre. Yeah, he's caught in loads in this middle sector. Right in his slipstream now. Probably going to wait till turn 1.
I'm taking a look though.
Oh no.
He's not going to wait. He's taking the position at the moment. Let's see, is Lars going to be able to grab that slipstream? Or
not with that exit.
Not with that exit indeed. But maybe he's just got enough slipstream. But the braking, he probably doesn't have the braking force. No, indeed.
Yeah, Patel's top speed isn't great, so that's why I thought he'd wait until turn 1, so he wasn't overtaken, but
Stefanko,
he judged that one good.
DNF, Stefanko DNF, I think he parked his car. Let's take a quick look.
No, he's parked it, okay. It was the wrong way in the pit lane, but that was on purpose.
Yeah, parking there, the car reversing into his garage spot.
Stoyan Barbukov DNF as well.
Yep.
He crashed. Coming out of turn 4. Spun up the rears and into the fence on the right hand side.
Alright, so Lars Brugman now already falling behind Mohammed Patel on his intermediate tires. how long is it gonna take Patel to catch up to Manusakis? And how long is Michele D'Alessandro gonna keep this lead? I mean, here looking at D'Alessandro, you see that gap to Manusakis there. Manusakis now coming out of the last corner. Michele D'Alessandro is already into turn 1 and it's starting to drizzle a little bit again. So
that last lap, Manusakis was almost 1.5 seconds quicker, and he's closed down 3 seconds in the last couple of laps, so maybe D'Alessandro is just taking it easy because he's got such a big lead, but Manusakis is definitely closing in a bit.
yeah.
Yeah, Blair Disley's now back on his favourite tyres of the race, the extreme wets. Battling with Florian, even though he's 2 laps down. I'm sure he hoped it'd been like this the whole race. He clearly likes those tyres. Yeah, Peter Schulz, he's still out on the intermediates, and yeah, he's just run wide, and yeah, not quite. They don't quite have the grip. He's understeering here as well. They don't quite have the grip. But the rain has seemed to have stopped, so we might see this drying out in the next sort of 3 or 4 laps. The intermediates might become the best tyres.
You can see a little bit of a dry line forming there coming into the last corner, but you indeed see that the intermediate tires are definitely not the tire to be on at this moment, but maybe in 2 or 3 laps it is gonna be the tire to be on. You really can't tell at the moment. I hear some guy flying around somewhere.
Oh no, it's not.
See, who is that? Oh, that's Ivan Leonov. Ivan Leonov drifting around all over the place here. I don't know what he's doing. He is 5 laps down, almost 4 laps. Oh, and he spun again, almost. Let's see though, that gap in the front is really not closing in. No,
Yeah, it's coming down a bit, but
not much.
not huge chunks.
No, indeed. But you can see indeed, when we go on board with Mashuli, you can see the dry line starting to form here on the straights.
Drier line.
Yeah, drier line, but
Still
that's
quite wet.
gonna be a dry line eventually. There is still 12 laps remaining in the race, or 22.
Yeah. Yeah, Manusakis is definitely the quickest man on the track right now. The only people in the 43s as well are the 2 Twister boys of D'Alessandro and Mashuli. They're definitely the fastest 3 at the moment. Yeah, Patel and Brigman are struggling a bit. But it is very hard to be consistent in these conditions because, as we said, there's this dry line which is going to be slightly quicker, but if you go off it a bit, you just start sliding, start to lose time. very difficult to do consistent lap times because you have to be so millimeter perfect in these initial stages of the dry line. When it gets wider, it becomes a bit easier. Yeah, oh my god. Manasaka's just gone quicker again, and he was a second quicker than D'Alessandro, so yeah, he's definitely the fastest man at the moment. Be interesting to know what fuel levels they are on, though.
Yeah, we really can't tell.
Yeah, because in the wet conditions, you can sort of get away with a slightly heavier car. It's less critical. So in which case, one of these drivers may have a lot more fuel, so that their pit stop is a lot less at the end. Assuming we have one more, we don't know the weather conditions. Although from testing, these wet tyres can go quite a long way.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed, the wet tires, I think, pretty much last half a race distance, so I think they can get away with going to the end on these tires.
But it depends if they have enough fuel, because they pitted, well, quite a few laps ago now, 10 laps ago, so I would be surprised if they put in like 30 odd laps of fuel to get to the end.
True. Started to drizzle a little bit again, not as heavy rain as we've had before, but just that light drizzle keeps that dry line from, well, forming very quickly.
Manasakis is, yeah, the track was really drying up. Manasakis just went another second quicker, but D'Alessandro improved his time by a second and a half as well. So Manasakis was only 3/10 quicker that lap.
You can see Lars Brugman is now getting the benefit from his intermediate tires, though. Last lap from him was 2 seconds, almost 2 seconds quicker than Michele D'Alessandro.
It's stopped raining again, so maybe this will help Lars Brugman. He's definitely catching up to Patel now, visually. Brugman's actually the only person on the intermediates now.
Yep, he is.
Someone else was, but they've pitted. Yeah, Brugman's very close now. He might be able to have a go at Patel. Reverse what happened about 5 laps ago.
Yep, indeed. Lars really seems to be quite a lot quicker on these intermediate tires. Let's see, does he have the top speed in the slipstream though?
He does.
Here we go.
You have to go onto the wetter patch.
Turn 1. Is he able to brake on that? Side by side coming through turn 1. Now coming through turn 2. Leaves the space there. Or well, he's got the space there and takes the position of 3rd place. So Lars now probably should try to build that gap as big as possible. Because if it starts raining again, he's gonna be the one that's gonna have problems.
Yeah, again, he was over a second quicker than the leaders. 1.4 and 1.2 seconds quicker than the 2 guys in front of him. So he's definitely quickest man on track and needs to use this speed while he has it. Yeah, the lead is now under 11 seconds at the front. So oh, Patel's looking for water there to cool down his tyres. Maybe he's having some overheating issues already. He's doing it again down the main straight, so they're definitely looking for some colder, deeper water for their tyres.
Yep.
They're hoping it's going to rain again now.
Yeah, I think so too, but it's still that light drizzle, I believe.
Yeah, just a little bit.
It's a little bit heavier than what it was a minute ago, though. Track's drying too quick.
Alright, so indeed a little bit heavier rain, so maybe those intermediate tires are gonna struggle again, but I don't know. I mean, there's
Should be fine.
still 11 drivers on the track.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mashgurli's off the track again.
I think
That's
we
the
ca-
third time or fourth time he's gone through
I
that
think we
chicane.
can give him the award of that patch of the circuit. Just write his name there.
Oh, he's
Oh.
gone wide again into 10-10,
He's struggling.
just on the curb. He hasn't been the same for the last 20 laps, has he?
No, not really. He was leading the race by quite a big margin, but something happened.
Someone's in the pit. Peter Schulz takes another set of extreme wet tyres. So he definitely thinks it's going to start raining again. And the lead is now almost 9 seconds. Manasakis was almost a second quicker again that last lap.
Yep.
All bit of contact into turn 11. Zaharov has been catching Precis for, well, pretty much since they made their last pit stop, and almost almost pushed Jim off the road into turn 11. Getting a bit too close. Yeah, the track's definitely drying up. There's a very predominant light grey line now for most of the circuit.
Oh, is Zaharov able to do anything now? Doesn't seem to have that top speed. He's not enough to get past Jim Parizis. Jim runs a little bit wide coming into turn 1, so allows Zaharov to close in a little bit. Zaharov a bit
Almost
too
lost
much
it.
on the wet there.
Oh yeah, Manasakis had a bad lap there. Over a second slower than his last one, and he's 5/10 slower this time round.
Oh wow.
Didn't gain anything.
And Brugman is
Oh,
still
yeah.
speeding up. 39.7 now.
It's really starting to dry up. This is what it was at the beginning of qualifying. Obviously, there's a lot less drivers, but not too far from option pace. If it keeps on drying out like this, it's a very sensitive moment in the race. This, in terms of how wet the track is.
Yep. Indeed, it's now indeed between those inters and wet tires. And when are we gonna see the first guy to go to take the gamble and go to dry tires? I don't know.
Well, there's 17 laps left now, and I mean, I still don't think any of them took 30 laps worth of fuel, so they've got to
Exactly.
stop again. They've got to top again for fuel, so they're probably just waiting to see what the conditions are like, and seeing if it dries up. They might go on the dry tyres because the lap times are getting towards there. Not quite, still a way off, but in that direction.
Yeah, those full wets are definitely helping with the, kicking up the water from the track. So give it a few more laps, and probably we'll start seeing even more inters or dry tyres.
Yep.
Weather permitting, of course.
Okay, last lap. George Manusakis 140.2, 2 seconds quicker than Michele.
But look at Brugman, he was another second quicker than Manusakis, 3 seconds quicker than D'Alessandro.
Yeah, definitely these
3.
gaps are closing down.
Yeah, under 8 seconds at the front now. That was about 16 seconds at one point, so George has done well to catch him up a bit.
Yep.
Peter Schill's pit again onto the inters. He only pit a few laps ago for the wets. Deciding maybe the inters are correct now.
No, I think he pitted on the wets. I mean, for the inners.
Oh, maybe it was a graphic glitch then.
Alright, so... let's see. Is D'Alessandro trying to respond to the quicker lap times of Manusakis and Brugman? Let's see, what is his last lap? He seems to be pushing quite hard on the exit curb there quite a lot. The last lap 142.0. Last lap George Manusakis is a 140. Yes.
Oh, Manusakis is in the
4.4.
pits.
Oh, okay. I thought so. Took quite a long time before he got to that timer, but indeed, he's going into the pit lane. Is he gonna go to the inters? Yes, he is gonna go to the inters. Taking that gamble. Maybe, yeah, I would say should take it to the end now, but does he have the grip?
Maybe this was what I was saying about the fuel. Maybe he was really quick because he was really low on fuel. So maybe he had to make the pit stop.
Yep, true.
Which, because obviously, ideally, you'd probably want to stay out for another maybe 4 or 5 laps and put on dry tyres. But maybe he had to take a pit stop. So Brugman again was almost 3 seconds, 2.5 quicker than D'Alessandro last lap. So if it carries on like this, he will be there. Possibly even before they pit for dry tyres, assuming it stays dry. Yeah, he was over 2 seconds quicker on that middle sector.
Yeah, indeed.
D'Alessandro's pitting.
Yep, he's
Yeah.
in the pits.
Just about got that slowed down. Had it all locked up. Brugman's now looking for a bit of water on the straights.
That's Brugman into the lead, but has he got enough fuel to finish this race? Probably not. So D'Alessandro 2 inters. Bigot takes on a bit of fuel as well. Coming back on track. Where does it come out? Right in front of his teammate Masciuli. Masciuli still on the wet tire, so probably won't be able to challenge D'Alessandro all too much.
Yeah, we're going to see maybe some people make a gamble. Those on the wets might want to stay out because then it stopped raining for a minute. Maybe it's looking like, especially on the racing line, it's definitely got a lot less water than what I had a few laps ago.
Going down the field a little bit, Jim Priest has just got past Florian Becker through turn, I think it's turn 12. Florian just went a bit wide onto that wetter tarmac, and Priest on the dry tarmac just slid down the inside into turn 13.
Oh.
Alright.
Yeah, Brugman's into the pits.
This again might be a fuel-related thing, because if he takes another set of inters, that'll be interesting. Oh no, he's taking the options.
Slicks.
Oh, that's spicy, because D'Alessandro's only just pitted for the inters.
Is he gonna make it out of the pit lane?
He can't get out of the pit box. Oh god. Yeah, he's gonna have to be careful.
Well, to be fair, there's quite a big dry line now, so...
Mashuli's still on the full wets, and Brugman's now on the options. Do not bin it coming out the pits.
Oh my god.
Do not bin it.
Yeah.
There
Gets
we
onto
go.
the dry line. Only just.
Yeah, the thing is, the
It's
dry
like
line
glue.
is only just wide enough for a car right now. So he is going to have to be very, 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 very careful. Because if he goes wide, he'll just...
Or just keeps it in there.
Yeah, because if he goes wide, he will just understeer and understeer and understeer.
Yep. Yeah, really interesting call there from Brugman. It's a tricky one, but, well, I mean, it's a test race, so YOLO, I would say.
Yeah, exactly.
Manasakis has just pit, and he's just done a 38 dead, which is the quickest guy. Well, he's the only person in the 30s, so he's more than 2 seconds that quicker than everyone. So he's like 3 seconds.
Patel's just overtook D'Alessandro.
Who?
Patel.
When did that happen?
No, Patel was already in the
5
lead.
seconds ago.
No, Patel's
Oh,
already in the
was
lead.
it?
This is
Oh,
D'Alessandro
sorry.
catching him up.
Uh,
Oh yeah.
Patel hasn't made the next stop yet.
oh, yeah, of course.
Oh yeah.
That's not going to work, Michele. That is not going to work.
Here
He's
we
gone for
go.
the switchback.
Switch back for Michele on the inters.
Oh, if Patel wants to get in the
Coming
pit,
down
that's
the
bad.
straight, a little bit of wheel banging. They want that dry line, both of them.
I think Patel wanted to go into the pits, like Cameron said.
Yeah. He's going to try out brake it. Oh no. Okay, so... Oh yeah, we can't see Brugman's lap, but his sectors are good.
Just all about keeping it on the black stuff.
Well, on the grey, more.
Yeah, more on the grey, yeah.
Yeah, Brugman's last sector was second quicker than most. So I think it's definitely time for the options.
Yeah,
speed-wise.
and the racing line is definitely beginning to get a lot wider as well, so...
Yeah, Patel and Mashuli are still on the extreme wets, so they're definitely going to have to pit. So they might as well pit as soon as possible.
Oh, D'Alessandro
assuming
off
it's-
track.
Again.
Yeah, he's
He avoids the curb, just goes around the outside of it.
interesting line.
Oh, Manasakis and Masculi getting quite close to each other. But I think Manasakis gets third in the end. Yep, quite comfortably, especially with the racing line being quite dry at the minute, and Masculi being on wet tyres as well.
Brugman's just done out of the top 5. Brugman's done the fastest middle sector, but only just in his sector 1 is actually slower, so it's definitely right on the point
Patel into the
of
pit
crossover.
lane. What is he gonna go to? Inter
Has to-
or
Has to be dries.
Yeah, Mashuli's in as well.
This is what I was saying. Like, do the people on the wets, hold it out?
Yep.
Yeah,
And, yeah.
options?
Oh, they're sharing a pit box. They're sharing a pit box. He's got to wait. Yeah, both options.
Alright, so 10 laps remaining in the race. Are they quick enough? Last lap, Lars Bergman, 139.4. George Monosakis, not 139.6. So not much different between those two guys.
If if it keeps on drying out, the guys on the options will definitely catch up the 2 leaders. But I don't think Michaela and George can afford to stay out at this current rate. The dry line's now about 2 car widths wide, so it's definitely dry tyres.
Splash and dash, maybe. Well,
Yeah.
without the splash, maybe. I don't think it's much slower to just get the tyres done, is it?
When did they pit? They both hit not that long ago, so they will have fuel to the end. So yeah, they might just come in and do tyres. Because I don't think they would have underfueled the car in their last pit stop.
If they come in for tyres now, they definitely lose the position to Lars.
Yeah, this is...
I mean, it's 9 laps.
It's between
9
a rock and a
laps.
hard place.
They're about the same pace at the moment. So if they lose a second a lap, it's still not enough for Lars to at least overtake Michaela.
Oh, Michaela's wheel spin out turn 2 goes really wide. That's not going to help him. He definitely lost a couple of seconds there. We'll see when he gets to the sector split. Yeah, he lost about 2.5 seconds.
Yep.
From his last lap. That's helped Lars quite a lot. Lars is definitely looking good for the win here as long as he doesn't put it on that wet stuff. And assuming the track dries out. We still have Jim Paresis on the full wet tyres. And Florian Becker.
Yeah, I think they put in probably fuel to the end when they stopped. They stopped quite late. At least Becker did, I believe. Last second sector from Bergman, not the best. 43.9, must have made a mistake there somewhere.
Let's have a look. Yeah, he went wide at 10-11. As I said, he got onto that wet stuff and you just lose a bit of grip. Had to wait to get back on the dry patch before getting back on the throttle.
Right, so Manusaki is now starting to get really a lot closer to Michele.
Yeah, he's been the last sort of quarter of the race. He's been quicker than Michaelis, so that form is continuing. Lars has actually lost time. Oh yeah, he went wide, didn't he? Got that.
Yeah, now only 8 laps remaining, basically. And there is still 10 laps, or 10 seconds between him and the leader, so he's gonna either be 1.5 seconds quicker a lap if he wants to catch up and get past, or
he's not helping himself. He's sliding all the way through turn 11, on getting onto the wet patch as well. Yeah,
D'Alessandro's trying to get onto the wet stuff to try and cool his tyres. Yeah, he's gone way off the racing line down the back straight and down the pit straight as well. So, and there's a car spinning in front of him. Oh no!
Oh, that's Becker. Let's have a look.
What happened there?
I think Florin's just pitted. He's on the prime tyres. He's come out and he's lost it braking into turn 1. And Michele misses the apex a bit as well and loses a bit of his front wing on
he's got damage.
Florian's side pod. That is very unfortunate.
Yep.
Where is Manasakis in all this?
Just 1 second behind now.
He's a lot closer, isn't he? And Alessandro's got front wing damage and possibly a bit of suspension. Let's have a look. No, steering looks okay. That's good for him. Interesting that Florian took the prime tyres actually, with not many laps left.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Maybe he ran out of his tyre allocation. Oh wait, this isn't real Formula 1. It's all fine then.
Now maybe he's just more comfortable on the primes, because remember he did his first 2 stints on the primes.
Yeah, and he
So
looked
maybe
quite
that's just his
comfortable.
comfortable.
Yeah, exactly. He felt quite comfortable in the I think it was the Barcelona test a few weeks ago. He felt quite comfortable.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's off the track again. Go down the back straight. Pit straight. Sorry, Florian Becker. So maybe he does have suspension damage.
Oh yeah, possibly. Possibly a couple of degrees.
I don't know. He's going down the back pit straight and just went straight onto the grass.
Well, I don't think there's grass here, Mr. Yogi.
No, there is actually on the left-hand side. It's the only bit of grass in the whole of Bahrain, probably. So sand.
Yep.
Which means it's probably not real. Very hot conditions. I mean, even with this sort of damp conditions, it's still 26 ambient.
Bit of AstroTurf.
Yeah, let's see what George Manusakis can do here in these closing stages of the race.
Jim Paris's still on the wet tyres.
Yep.
The only
Yeah,
person.
he's
Blair.
decided he's not going to get
Blair
the,
as well,
he's
yeah.
not going to get the time back from pitting. So
Oh, Florian Becker off the track again. Turn 13.
yeah, he went round turn 12, got on the wet part, went wide and sort of half span, so he had to cut turn 13 as well.
Oh, Schultz is spun around. Something
he's lost
happened
his
to
front wing.
Schultz.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yes, he was completely on the wet. Went into the fence.
Let's see, coming to second to last corner. On the wet and just...
Yeah, I'd be surprised if he ain't got any suspension damage.
Yeah, probably has some as well.
Looking at the lap times, Brugman was only 4/10 quicker last lap, and he's still over 8 seconds behind. So the track hasn't
Not happening.
dried up in his favour. So unless it dries up dramatically, he's gonna struggle to catch them now.
Unless Vodball want to get out some massive hair dryers above the track to try and get it nice and dry.
Just get those those things they had at Kota last year or 2 years ago, like the pickup trucks with jets at the rear.
Ah, yeah.
The jet dryers.
Yeah.
NASCAR style.
America.
If this was NASCAR, we wouldn't be racing because it's wet.
Yeah.
Yeah, the big question is now, George Manusakis really be able to catch up and get past?
Well, he was 2/10 slower last time round, so his speed advantage that he had for the last half of the race is gone, and it's a bit stable. Brugman was 1 second quicker last time round, so he needs a bit more than that per lap if he's going to win this race. Although catching and passing are 2 different things.
Yes, indeed.
But hopefully he can catch George. Blair Disley's out on the wet tyres as well. Spent the whole race on those, pretty much.
What's the odds
Oh.
if he pits for dry tyres again? It might rain.
Yeah, he did a 22 lap stint on wets, then 5 laps on the primes, and then back to 22 laps on the wets.
Maybe Florian pitted for the primes because he thinks that maybe he has to do both dry compounds.
Yes.
But
Well, no, because he
considering
did 2 primes at
He
the
started
beginning.
on the
He hasn't even
primes.
used the options.
Okay.
Or it was probably one of those things that maybe he did it last minute and misclicked which tyres.
That could.
Yeah, because obviously you have to do that live. Can't plan it.
Yeah, Brugman's beginning to close in. 6.4 seconds now.
Yeah, he needs he needs a bit more. To have a chance of winning, he needs a bit more, but he might catch Manasakis. Make it a bit difficult for George.
Oh, somebody spun around Mashuli. Mashuli without a rear wing.
Oh,
He's coming into the pit lane now.
who else is in the pits? Becker.
Becker. What happened there? Let's see, Mashuli.
Oh, that was a massive crash he had.
Coming into the last corner. What did he do on the exit curb?
He got onto the exit, lost control, got onto the wet stuff and just went straight into the wall.
Big crash indeed. Front wing gone, rear wing gone. Decides to pull
Yeah,
into the pit lane, but yeah.
He touched the wet on the left, corrected it, and then when he was on the wet on the right, he put power down again and spun the rears and into the Armco.
Patel's DNF. What happened to Patel? Let's see, coming through the
10-7.
chicane.
Oh, 10-7. Yeah. 10-8.
7 braking, turning in,
I think he's
spinning.
he's just parked it.
Yeah, he just parked
spun,
it.
and with only a couple of laps to left, he's just parked it.
Yep.
Brugman only a couple of tenths quicker that lap. The 2 leaders are getting a bit quicker as well, so yes, definitely right on the crossover point. Hasn't dried up that much with less drivers on the track at this stage of the race. And it seems there might be a little bit of drizzle in the pit lane.
Yeah, it started to rain a bit again.
That's bad for Florian, he's just pitted for option tyres. Oh yeah, clouds coming in now. I'm sure Lars is not very happy in that cockpit. Sliding all over the place now.
2 laps to go. Probably
Oh.
will be able to take it again.
D'Alessandro almost lost it coming out turn 10. Went all over the runoff again, and Manasakis is a bit closer now.
Both are struggling a bit.
He's going to be getting a bit of slipstream now as well. Only a little bit, but should help him catch up.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Broke very late into turn 1. Wow, a lot later.
Yeah, a lot of sliding through turn 2 though.
Yeah, he's definitely trying. Can't fault him for that. And Brugman was 5 seconds slower last lap. So, yeah. That's a bit of a shame for him.
2 laps remaining and Manasakis is struggling. Sliding all over the place through turn 6.
Oh, Brugman spun round. Oh no, he's still going, wiggling on the dry wow, not dry stuff anymore.
Oh god, wow, that was a good save actually. Yeah, that was a good save. Almost lost it.
Yeah, Rodger. Yeah, thought it was going to be too dry, so
Yeah.
Bernie decided to turn on the sprinklers.
He's drifting all over the place. I think we can cue the Tokyo Drift tune in for him now.
Ding, 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 ding.
I don't. Never mind.
That's Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
Not Tokyo Drift.
Well, in my head it was Tokyo Drift.
Alright.
Alessandro's got Jim Paresis in front of him, and Jim will. Jim collects D'Alessandro.
What happened?
Crash gate. Yeah, I don't know.
What?
That was quite weird.
And D'Alessandro's continued.
Well,
He's
there's only one
continued.
more
He's
lap
got
left.
He's got no front wing, and he's got suspension damage.
Here we go.
But- Yeah,
the
but,
replay.
but
well, yeah.
Brugman is on the
Paresis-
soft tyres.
Yeah, Paresis lost it, and in doing so, took out Mikeda.
Somebody else spun before that. There were already a tire and a front wing laying around. But what the hell? Yeah, that's weird.
The other person was Florian. He has 3 wheels on his, or had 3 wheels on his wagon. He spun at pit entry as well. Oh yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, Florian crashed initially with 3 wheels. Well, after he had 3 wheels. Made a pit stop.
Yeah, D'Alessandro is now arriving without a front wing. He's
I don't know.
not very quick.
I just realised there was another incident there into turn 4 between at the beginning of this lap between Michele and Jim. That sort of turned into each
that was a
other.
weird second to last lap.
Yeah, well, we are on the last lap now, at least George is. Oh, he's already finished. Wow, missed the last lap. Oops. Well, George Madousak is winning the race here. Very, very interesting. Interesting, strange race. Rain all over the place, then it dry again, then rainy again. Then Michele D'Alessandro gets hauled up by Jim Paresis and loses the first position, finishes the race without a front wing. Lars Brugman still on his option tires, drifting around the circuit.
Yeah, that last rain shower really killed his hopes of a podium. Well, he got podium in the end, actually. Not podium, sorry, second place. But yeah, that really killed his chances. But yeah,
Indeed. So
it says Brugman came second.
yeah,
Did D'Alessandro get
D'Alessandro
penalty?
penalized because he got a corner or something.
Yeah.
So Zarov still on the back straight, still has to do the whole third sector.
Am I the only person seeing Florian with 3 wheels? Did he really finish
No.
with 3 wheels?
Yeah.
Because as I said, he pitted, got a new front wing, but obviously they can't add
No
a
suspension.
whole suspension system. And he's continued with 3 wheels.
Is he still got a lap? Is he actually finished now?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
he's finished.
Yeah, I thought it'd be quite funny if he had to do a whole more lap with no
Yeah.
front right suspension.
Yeah,
he's just drifting all over the place. Wow.
Last person across is Dmitry Zaharov, coming home in 4th position.
That's not too bad, is it?
Yeah, it could be worse for him.
Well, he's around a lot of WC drivers, which is good.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
guess you can
there
say that.
were quite a few DNFs in this race, as what happens in test races and in the wet. Quite a few collisions.
Yep. So yes, that is the test race done for today. Interesting. Testing out, of course, a lot of things. The rain in Bahrain. That's one interesting thing already. But also, of course, things with the live stream. I think it's been working quite nicely, at least from what I could have told. but I'm gonna watch it back, of course. And if you guys have any tips, please leave them in the comments now, and we will try to make that any better again for the upcoming first race of the season. But yeah, I think it is about time to close this up for today. Just to remind you guys that the next race is gonna be next week. It's gonna be the real Bahrain Grand Prix.
Not featuring any rain though.
Probably not featuring any rain. That's probably pretty certain. But yeah, I think
season starts next weekend.
Yeah, next weekend the season starts. Of course, usual time schedule. Of course, we have got the Saturday first. We've got then Ace on Saturday, as I said, 5 p.m. GMT. Then on Sunday we start off with Pro and then end the weekend with the beautiful World Championship race, which is going to be very, very interesting. Couple of new drivers, couple of new teams, and of course also a lot of old veterans still driving here, and it's gonna be a very interesting race next week. I hope to see you all then. I want to thank you, Cameron, you, Chris, and the other Chris with a K for today once again, and yeah, want to say goodbye for now and take care until next week. See you then.